I'm here. I'm behind you. He has Jarvan, he has no one else. He only has Jarvan.
You guys need to ult now.
Burst too. That's fine, they have no damage. We can kill this guy.
Coming.
Burst.
Hold me. Benny?
We can kill J4.
I'm getting stopped. That's the reason I'm.
Oh, that's fine.
Nice cut
Fine,
down.
we can Baron.
You got him?
Oh shit.
Close shit. Fair.
We can,
Oh shit.
Welcome back, everybody, to the 2013 North American LCS. I'm Jat, now joined by Zuna and X-Smithy from Vulcan, who just took down Velocity in a rather long game. Do you want to talk about why it was somewhat difficult to close that one out?
I would say at times when we weren't supposed to go ham, we went ham. And then times when we were supposed to go ham, we didn't. And because of that, we kept making minor mistakes, so we just couldn't end the game.
And it's actually been almost a consistent trend here for Vulcan. Your last game of last week against CLG, you were unable to close and they actually came back, and it happened against Cloud9. Why is this happening and what are you doing to fix it?
It's mostly all about being impatient and not trying to do what we used to. We used to just be calm and collected and just do it really slow. Even if it just takes a longer time, as long as we win it, I think it's fine.
And actually, you played Eve this game, X-Smithy, something that NK Inc. had actually had banned against him 12 times already this year. Was that just to take it away, or are you just really comfortable with Eve?
We usually don't play Evelyn, since I usually go for tank lead junglers, and top is mostly sort of assassin trying to kill the top laner. And now we go for Shen, and then I can just go for assassin junglers too.
Okay.
And that's mostly why I didn't pick Evelyn before.
And how do you play exactly the early game with Eve? Because not giving too much away, you've had some amazing early games specifically with Eve where you just take control of the map.
It's mostly predicting the other jungler where he is. Try to, before doing the ganks, just keep farming until you get level 6, and that's mostly where you shine on. And just try to avoid the pink wards, because in this game, Leona got like 3 pink wards in the beginning. It was very hard for us to keep an easy gank, and I just farm all the game.
And even then, you were able to turn it around, as well as your Vayne, which ended up getting that triple kill near the end of the game. Why did you go for Vayne in this particular instance?
Pretty much we picked Vayne just so they didn't have something that could kind of split push against Shen. So we were just like, let's take it off their hands. And then I felt really comfortable having Eve and Shen, so I know it's really hard to target me. We have like lots of a front line. So because of that, I picked Vayne, and then I did go ham a couple times and then just died because of it, but I think I played pretty well.
And final question here for you. You guys, with the win, you had a 2-game lead on TSM coming into this week. What do you feel your chances are like now locking up that 2nd seed?
I definitely feel like it's really high, and we came in the week, I think the stats said 1-4 or whatever. That was our record lately, and we're just going to bounce back. We know the mistakes we made, and we're just trying to improve from there.
Well, thank you very much, Zuna and X-Smithy. Again, congratulations on your victory against Velocity, and stick around for the next 3 games as well. We have plenty more LCS action coming your way for the viewers as well. Soon we'll have free cast in the final 3 games with Kobe, but for now, Kobe's going to break down some plays on the Telestrator.
All right, thanks, Jat. I do have 2 clips for you from the last game here, and this clip really is the story of this game. It's 2 assassins, 1 Shen. We have Zed and Evelyn are the 2 assassins here, and they're going to try and pull off this turret dive. And you'll see it be effective even with this counter gank of Jarvan coming to help out Chris. So Chris is going to be the target of the gank right here, and Jarvan's going to come in and try and help. But because there's an extra man on the court for Vulcan in Psycho Sid with that Shen, everything is going to go their way. All right, let's roll this clip half speed, and you can see it take effect. All right, so Mandatory Cloud is going to immediately go in on Chris. Let's pause it here. To make this work, even with 3 people, they're going to have to play a little game of sort of hot potato with the turret aggro and go in and out of this range of the turret to trade off the target that the turret is actually attacking. So they started out on Mandatory Cloud because he's got the shield from Shen. And then Smithy's going to come in for the secondary damage. All right, let's keep on rolling here. So they wait out this ultimate from Chris, and you see Mandatory Cloud already looking to get out of that turret aggro. When that stun lands, he's just 2 steps away from trading it to Smithy. Then Smithy's able to pick it up, and the only way they could have played it even better right here was for Psycho Sid to be the 3rd person to pick up that tower aggro and not have to have Mandatory Cloud take anymore. But that was basically Vulcan's plan, and they almost executed it perfectly. This is a clip of them sort of fumbling the ball a little bit and getting a little bit too aggressive with that dive mentality. So let's roll this one through at 50% speed. You can see it's going to start off on Evaniscus. The idea here, he's trying to clear out the ward, and Zuna gets him down to half life. So we have Zed coming in from the back. He could just come in and finish off this single target right here, but pause now. We just had him, Mandatory Cloud. He saw Maple Street and his eyes just got big. He was like, oh my God, that's my priority target. I need to just blow up that AD carry. Instead of taking the easy target here and then getting out with 1 kill. They get a little bit too deep here, and they end up paying for it. Even though Bloodwater was able to lock up those 2 targets, Mandatory Cloud changed. So let's continue rolling at 50% speed, and he's going to get enough damage here down onto Maple Street. But it causes Vulcan to overcommit, and now they're between 2 turrets right now. They actually take shots from both sides, and you can see they're completely split. Pause one more time. Their damage dealers are down here. Mandatory Cloud and Zuna are both zoned out from this fight because they went in first and the turret's still standing. The health on this turret, by the way, was only a few hits. They could just finish that one off and have a regular fight, but they decided to dive, and now they're completely split. So let's continue rolling this one out. Smithy and Psycho Sid, they're still able to get out of this one, but it's only going to be a 2-for-2 trade where it could have been much, much better in Vulcan Strait. You see, Psycho Sid realizes the tower almost done, and he tries to go finish the job, but it was too little, too late. So that really is demonstrating the importance of being careful with these tower dives. You saw in the first clip how they can turn out when well executed, but the second one when you're too aggressive. With that, we're going to send it back over to the desk.
Thanks very much, Kobe. Now, guys, we asked you earlier today to hop on Twitter and ask us anything. Ask us anything about the North American LCS. Here's what you guys wanted to know. At Actuality SM says, what player do you think has improved the most this split of the LCS?
And we actually just had him in a game. I feel like Psycho Sid, from one split to the next, has definitely improved the most. I don't know if the question would have been like split specific. I want to hear your pick too, but I think Psycho Sid has improved the most because he's consistently playing and he can sustain 1v2 lanes better than anyone.
I actually want to say Nien. Just because you come in, and the thing is, like, so many people thought CLG was going to fall flat on their face because they had a rough end of the split.
Yeah.
Switched the roster around with 2 players playing new roles.
Yeah, that's a tough situation.
And then they're like, oh, by the way, we're now top 3.
Yeah.
So I feel like both Nien and kind of like shared with Big Fat LP as well, new roles, team having some troubles, and holding up, I think is really huge.
Yep.
All right, so next one, Ginger Brad asks, with the new jungle changes in 3.10, do you think they'll have a big impact on early level invades?
Ooh, so the change, at least in the jungle now, is instead of being able to get level 2 straight off taking the buff, you got to kill the little guys too. I think since we actually haven't seen that much Nunu in the LCS, I think that's a fairly Nunu-centric strategy, not too big of an impact. The biggest impact those jungle changes will have will be lane positioning and 2v1 lanes having even less of an impact, as well as having less ability to push down lanes faster. I think that's going to be the big 3.10 change.
Yeah, I like that actually you don't get to do double golems in any meaningful way anymore. I think that's actually important for the lane setups. Now, next up, at Pure Demise wants to know, how do you feel about TPA losing out on their chance to go to Worlds?
That's a good question. I mean, it's kind of a sad thing. Not having the defending champs going to the next World Championships is always a bit of a downer. TPA wasn't even able to keep their roster together, so a lot of the players had already left TPA, even if they would have made it through. BB, I believe, was the only one still on TPA afterwards. It just shows how difficult it is for a lot of these guys to stay together for so long. Yeah. So, honestly, how do we feel? I'm a little disappointed.
I am, too. It's unfortunate seeing rosters split up because a lot of these guys stay together forever through thick and thin. Yeah. If you still want to see at least someone, then you've got a mistake on TPS. Type A Snipers was a chance of coming through.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe we'll see him. Now, next up, Lazengan asks, why do you think the dominant teams from last season are not doing as well in this season compared to other teams like Cloud9?
Well, at least in North America, I feel like teams were a little bit stagnant, and Cloud9 came in understanding the strategy better, and they were also the first team that really incorporated strategies from around the world better. Other than that, I'm not entirely sure. I think Europe has just been absolute chaos.
Yeah, Europe's been crazy. Lemon Dogs are #1, and I think if you were going to guess any team to be #1 in Europe, I think Lemon Dogs would have been the least likely vote there, just because they came out of nowhere. They really came out of mostly nowhere. Half their roster was pretty unknown. Half of them you kind of knew. And it's just people who have the drive, put in the effort. Even think back to like Moscow 5 when they first showed up. New team out of nowhere and became the best team in Europe.
And there's always the chance, just to kind of wrap this up, of adaptation actually being difficult in this game. The game changes so quickly. It's not like you have a whole year to pick up on something new. It's patch to patch. A lot of that can impact people.
It can. So now we have the one more, and it's Kim the Nuke.
He wants to know.
Yeah. Wow. Sorry, that was actually a full name. Sorry. Kim the Nuke Jong Yu says, who do you think should be the MVP of the entire summer split?
Right now, I feel like it's definitely someone on Cloud9, and it's probably Meteos. We talk him up all the time, but he's making the decisions. At least the team is making the decisions, but he's always the first one in, and it's always the right one. I kind of agree with that. I think it has to be a Cloud9 member just because they've been so dominant. I think the decision-making makes a lot of sense there. That's a very good, likely pick. Now, guys, congratulations to you guys who we read out there. You guys have won the Logitech Gaming Mice, and honestly, those were some sweet tweets. And keep hitting us up on Twitter with your questions. We're at LOL Esports, and remember to use the hashtag LCS. Now, guys, we have more for you to tell us, though. Here at the North American League Championship Series, we're always trying to up our game and provide a world-class esports broadcast, and we need your help to level up some more. So head over to bit.ly/NALCS feedback and fill out the quick survey. Your answers could affect everything from post-game interviews to Twitter questions. And of course, while you're filling those surveys out, make sure to keep your browsers, or at least the other tab right here, because we're only halfway through the huge day of NALCS action. We've got 3 more matches coming your way, starting with Team Solo Mid facing off against Curse. After that, the league's 2 most deadly players face off when Doublelift and COG take on ManCloud and Vulcan, followed by Team Coast taking on Velocity. So guys, we've got to take a quick break and adjust our caster rune pages before the next match. But first, as many of you know, I had the pleasure of heading over and shoutcasting in Europe for the last couple of weeks. And while I was there, I met one League of Legends fan who had his wish come true thanks to Crepo and the players of the European LCS. Take a look.
My name is Martin Berg. I'm 16 years old. I really love League of Legends and I look a lot into the esports scene. I play every day, I would say. I came here because I got a wish from a Swedish cancer fund.
Martin is sick and he has leukemia. And he has had quite a tough time. You know, he lost almost 1 year at school.
It was really hard. I lost a lot of friends and yeah.
So basically a few months ago I was just browsing Reddit and I saw a post about a Swedish kid that battled cancer.
I made a post on Reddit about me getting a wish and I wanted to do something League of Legends related.
And he had a proposition from a Swedish version of Make-A-Wish Foundation, Min Stora Dag, if I pronounce it correctly.
Min Stora Dag.
And he was looking to come to LCS, maybe meet a pro player. So I put him in touch with some people at Riot.
I mean, he had a number of things to choose from. I was really surprised that he chose this.
Yeah, it's awesome to go to the studio. It's gonna be so fun. It was really cool actually. He was so casual and just went around and talked to everybody. I thought it was more like they were hiding backstage to not get too many fans going up to them.
So yeah, you're gonna stay here all the weekend? All of you?
No.
I did never expect that I would see him so close and talk to him. It's just unbelievable.
We got a tour around with shocks.
All right, so this is the actual studio where it all happens, where the audience sits and then where our pro players sit, and I think it would be cool if we just went up there.
Morning. Is it hard to shoutcast?
No, it's very easy. It's the easiest job I've ever done in my life.
You can sit in the chair if you want.
Yeah.
Well, this is the area where the commentators sit. So as in any other sport, we have commentators during the game who will go, look at that guy, he's gonna go in, he's gonna grab a kill. So that's what these people do here.
I didn't teach my dad to play, but I taught my dad to know more about it.
This made me very astonishing. They could connect one piece of whatever it was with a human player. When you can do that, of course, then it gets another dimension in the play.
Quickly, Evo Genies is on the last stand. The shockwave once again used. Crepo gets melted, and Ninjas in pajamas get themselves a second victory over Evo Geniuses.
Martin? Hey man, how you doing? Hi. Okay. Sorry we lost.
It's okay. I think he's so funny and he made it possible for me to come here.
So why did you come like last year when we were actually winning stuff? Who's the Fnatic fan here? It's bad taste, man. How long do you have to keep taking them now?
The pills for another 5 years.
Ouch.
And 1 year to the hospital.
Yeah, like checkups.
Yeah.
And then you're free.
Yeah.
Then you beat him.
I have a lot of respect for any people that survive any illness, especially cancer, especially young people that have to deal with it, because it makes them mature way too much, way too fast.
I thought I was dreaming and I didn't think it was real.
Take another one. What's it called? Min stora dag? Yeah, exactly. I'm so good at Swedish, dude. That's first part. So we can get them signed by all the pro players and NIFP as well.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our final match of the day. That's going to be the Nexus Turrets going. It's Evil Geniuses that pick up the win against Meteor Makers.
After this, it has another meaning, of course. So we now understand why he cannot break up a game and come down to dinner.
Yeah, that's what we try to do. Random events that take a minute out of your time to make somebody else happy is just what makes it worth being a pro gamer.